I'm ready to record. All right, guys, this is Just in Time Grilling. We're once again at the Cookout. I'm with Drake, Elliott, and JaimeAstin.
Hey.
So I just want to say today, guys, I'm going to let you know what I'm doing. I bought myself some three racks of ribs, and I'm going to put on the grill. I finally learned, Drake, I told you this last time, I'm telling you now, Jaime. I finally learned how to grill ribs properly. I haven't made a video. I think I'm going to make a video today. I'm not gonna make my own seasoning or marinade or anything. I'm gonna use Kingsford pre-made marinade and seasoning. But I'm gonna show the techniques of starting the grill and how to keep the grill going for X amount of time until the ribs are on point, fall off the bone, delicious. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm looking so forward to it because I already know Justice loves my ribs, Silver loves my ribs. I'm getting really good with it. So just in time grilling, as far as me being able to actually grill and make videos about grilling, is going to pick up this summer. So what's going on with you two?
Well, first, I just want to say good morning it is morning in Germany, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning to you, Justin. Drake, for us in the central time zone of the U.S., good evening. Good morning. It's 12 a.m., 1 a.m.
Yeah.
But, Justin, it's funny. I look forward to your rib videos because the last time I grilled some ribs, they didn't fall off the bone good. They were good because I'm real good with seasoning and things like that. But one of the things is I'm a propane griller first, and it's really because propane is fast and efficient, but it's very hot. I'm not great with charcoals, and I have a pellet grill, but my pellet grill is a pit boss, and it continues to run away from me. So I tried to smoke some ribs, but the grill temperature would not stay low enough, and it kept running away with the heat. So it dried them out just a little bit, and I finally got my charcoal grill going good enough using the chimney. So I had to finish it on there, and there's nothing. I'll be honest with you. As much as I am a propane griller, there's something special about that charcoal. Charcoal tastes good. So
It
I
does.
look
It
forward to
does.
every.
Yeah. My dad always used the charcoal grill. I know just from his experience. He just stuck with charcoal. He got a decent one now, but
Well, I mean, let's go with this. So, Jaime, I'm be honest with you. I think the best tasting burgers, and I always think about Hank Hill when I think about this. The best tasting burger so far is on a gas grill, and at least for me, I want to eventually buy myself a gas grill because you're right. You can just turn those things on, get it hot, and then that's it. You can start grilling immediately with the charcoal. I am more efficient than I used to be. I am okay. Just turn it up then. I am more efficient than I used to be. Like I have an electric fire starter that I use to get my coals going, and I can get the coals going within 15 minutes, and I'm ready to grill. I use that 15 minutes to prep. So I get the fire started, then I start prepping the food, getting it ready to be placed on the grill, and that takes about 15, 20 minutes. So by the time I'm ready to start grilling, everything is ready. And so it doesn't seem like it takes that much time anymore. I know propane just turned it on, but I think I was talking to Drake. I mean, if you there not going away from grilling for a second, but I remember going to a place like KFC, and you would go there and get some especially warm, and you try to get some chicken and say it take 40 minutes, take 30 minutes. I'm wondering why does it take so long to cook chicken? Well, since I've started learning how to cook, it takes a while for the oil to heat up.
But that's just poor management.
that's poor management.
It's poor
A
management.
fast food restaurant like KFC shouldn't be having you You shouldn't have to wait
Exactly.
30, 40 minutes for that.
No.
No.
But
Yeah,
still,
it's
well,
just
bottom line is though, for some stuff it takes us some time to get it to heat up properly. When you cook in the oven, even with an oven, you just can't turn it on. It's gonna be the right temperature. You gotta let
well,
it sit
if
for a
you're a
few
good
minutes.
cook, I mean, it all depends. It's like they say, boil water before you put the eggs in there. By the time my water is boiling, my eggs are done. I put those eggs in there, cold water. And I turn that thing on high. By the time that stuff get to rumbling, I'm taking those eggs out. They're cooked. They're ready to go.
How do
You
y'all
know.
cook y'all's pasta? Do y'all boil the water first before you put the pasta in there?
I do that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I say I boil the water first. I have to boil the water first, and I put some oil and a little bit of salt, and then I put it in there. That's the traditional way. I got to do it that way.
That's I've done it both ways, and I'll be honest with you. It's best when you're cooking pasta. It's best to get the water boiling first. And like Justin said, I like to put a little butter, a little olive oil, salt,
Mm-hmm.
and I put the pasta in there. And because the thing is, pasta, uh, your goal is to get it cooked without it being sticky and stuck together.
Right. Yep.
Or being undercooked. So
Mm-hmm.
you definitely want to get that right. You put it in there too soon, you might have some sticky stuff. So, you learn trial and error.
Yeah. Until I looked at the
Sometimes you don't come
directions.
up with new ways to do it.
Right.
There's a reason why it's established,
That's right. Until I looked at the directions, even myself in my own cooking journey or whatever you want to call it, cooking career. I used to just put the pasta and then let it boil up to the end. Then I looked at the directions one day on the pasta package and I was like, wow, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. I had it wrong. So I'll go on and now see I try to do a little shortcut and I'll get the faucet, the water faucet at the highest degree, the hottest water I can get it to. You know what I mean? Coming out of the faucet. Then I'll transfer that hot water so it'll be less time in theory, right? That it has to boil because it's already hot. So yeah, that's when I started boiling my water and then putting the pasta in it.
Well, they try to say at least this is from Uncle Hunter,
Uh-oh.
Uncle Hunter said two things growing up. Well, hot water freezes faster than cold water. Okay, that's back with the ice tray. You may not have to use the ice tray. Granny's house, we have to use ice tray. Number two, don't want to get hot water because it pulls out lead out of the pipes.
Oh.
So, hot water is good to wash your hands with. May not be for drinking and stuff like that. I just got a new Brita filter to put on the tap, so that's pretty neat. But going back to the subject at hand, Justin, the thing is when it comes to grilling, for years I just couldn't get the charcoal lit right. The charcoal would still be black. It'll still taste like lighter fluid, things like that. You do not need lighter fluid when it comes to charcoal because you don't want your food to taste like lighter fluid. It's about properly heating it. And it wasn't until I finally used a chimney that I got my charcoal, and this was just last month, people, that I finally got it working. I have two charcoal grills. Now, my Weber, my gas grills, I have a couple of Webers. I have a Weber Q, and I just bought a little cart stand for it. I take that thing everywhere. I actually really take it places with me and grill on the spot. Like I love steak, Drake. I told you I can eat a steak every day.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I take that little thing with me, and I have a Weber Spirit 3 grill. It's 3 burners. For me, Justin, you said 15 minutes. You turn that gas on, I can grill in 5 minutes or less. It gets hot that fast. So the only thing I'm doing is I already have everything ready to go. And so I'll turn it up high so I can burn off anything that's on the grates, scrape it off, cook my meat, and then I'll take it off. I mean, I'll leave it on to burn off any excess and then scrape it again. So they'll be ready next time I start. But burgers and steak, to me, taste great on a gas grill. But chicken, you can't beat chicken on charcoal. You just
I
can't
agree
beat
with
it.
that.
You can't beat it. It absorbs the smoke and the flavor so well until it's just delicious. Every bit of it is delicious. And I'm not a big chicken eater, but I mean, I dream about it. That's why I started learning how to do charcoal because you can't beat chicken off a charcoal grill. If you're gonna do chicken, it has to come off charcoal.
I'm tell you something. That's my specialty. That's the first
That's
thing
his
that I've
specialty.
mastered. I've
That's what
mastered
he
the chicken on the
says.
grill,
Yep.
man. I'm tell you something, and Jamie, and this I'm contest to this of just that. I remember when I first started grilling, and I think we talked about this comparing steak to chicken as far as how long it has to cook so you don't get sick and stuff like that. And I know um Germans, they like their stuff a little bit black. And I'm thinking, no, it don't have to be dark, it don't have to be so dark, but I understand the reason why, because I think it's the same in the States too. You're just so afraid that the chicken is gonna come off raw until it has to have that look. Well, I bought a thermometer. Now I don't have to worry about that look. But I've been
Change the
trying to
game.
change the game. But now I have been trying to go back and forth to where I cook the meat good, but also get those grill marks. The grill marks is what I'm still trying to learn how to do. But anyway, I remember marinating my food, but by the time I finished marinating it for 3 hours, 2 days, whatever, however long you do it, when I finished grilling, there'll be no taste to it because
You cook all of it out.
I was cooking it all out. And now I've learned how not to cook it out. So I can actually taste if I put ginger in it this time, or if I use soy sauce, or if I make it spicy. I can taste all that. But at first I was cooking it all out. And I was wondering, what's the point of marinating it if I'm gonna cook it all out? I finally learned how to cook it. I finally learned how to grill it. And I think, man, I used to laugh at Jaime, my German family, like, man, you all don't know how to cook chicken, you burning it up. And, but after I learned how to cook grilled chicken, even my American family, I'm like, man, we were doing it wrong. We were doing it wrong this whole time. I think I finally mastered that. Now everything else, man, my burgers, I still think I have a lot of work in progress on my burgers. I think it's a work in progress on my pulled pork. I haven't even tried a steak yet. Ribs, I've gotten down the ribs. Now it's time for me to work on making my own sauce and making my own seasoning. But right now, I think I told Drake the last time is that I feel like it's multiple things I need to try to learn. I need to learn how to grill, and then I need to learn how to make the right mix of spices. And at different points in time, I work on different things. So this time I've been working on just the grilling aspect, and then I would go back and learn to hit the spices up and making my own sauce and then making adjustments. But to try to do it all at the same time,
Yeah.
that would have been a
I would
struggle.
say what you're doing in my mind would be the way that I would approach it if I was really, really into grilling, is making sure first that I actually knew how to grill or barbecue, as you say. Because you always say, go on and say that, Justin. At that point, you always say that there's a difference between, you said Germans do what?
Germans grill, Americans barbecue.
Barbecue, right. So that's the thing. So you know how to barbecue now, or at least barbecue your chicken. So I would say you go on a good route of knowing how to actually cook the food and cook the meat. And then, add, hone in your skills of the seasonings and the rubs and marinades and stuff like that.
Well, just to piggyback that, because the bottom line is this: it does not matter how well you season if you can't cook it right.
That's right.
Because if you can cook it right, for me, when it comes to meats, if you cook it right, you don't need much seasoning.
Salt and pepper for Jaime.
Salt and pepper, we're done. We're done. That's all you need. You don't need any auxiliary flavors. Salt and pepper should either bring out whatever you have if you cook the meat right. Now Justin, our nieces, they like my steak. Now I can season up a steak and grill it. I can grill the crap out of a steak, okay? And so they're like, man, I told them, they said, oh, we love your steaks. I said, well, I'm gonna let you all season up this time. Because they're like, I don't know what to get. I say, well, the thing is about seasoning is you have to learn. There's a chemistry when it comes to seasonings, when I try to help people, because, I've learned a thing or two, but I'm always trying things, you have to learn what mixes together, what work together, what flavors work together, sweet and spicy. There's a reason why we do things like that. A mango salsa. how do you counter too much salt? Add sugar. How do you counter
Mhm.
something too sweet? How do you
To
counter
sugar,
too much
add salt.
pepper? Yeah.
Hmm.
Those are things that you just have to learn when it comes to making vinaigrettes, sauces, things like that. What are your bases? You know, so how do you thicken up a roux? How do you thin it out? You know, when do you add cream? When do you add egg? These things are just kind of basic cooking. And if you don't know, it's you start off by doing a recipe. Some people say, well, all I can do is follow a recipe. I don't know how to cook. Follow the recipe. Do that. Great start. You're not just making a mess. You're going off someone's instruction.
Let me
And
just
then
say
from
this.
there,
Let me put in my little input.
hmm
There's a difference between warming things up and cooking. That's two
yeah,
different things. You can
yeah,
warm something up, whether that's even we talking about pasta and stuff like that. That's warming stuff up. And there's a difference between cooking, adding all these
yeah,
stuff in, adding all these things in, and like you're saying, thinning stuff out, thickening it, sweet and sour, saltiness. Yeah.
yeah. And that's just a fact. I mean, because we can burn up anything, and that's half the time what's going on is people taking something out of a package, adding water, and warming it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much of
Yep.
that is cooking. It's like no, it's already pre-made. You're just hopefully following the instruction to get the temperature right. And that's when it comes to grilling. There's just more technique to cooking, and some things you just have to respect. Now I'm telling you, on my gas grill, I can hook a steak up fast. Those things, you get it hot and you go. We're not smoking it. There's not anything to it. Only thing you're trying to do is, Justin, you're talking about grill marks. Sometimes like Gordon Ramsay, I love to watch Gordon Ramsay. That's a person that I would actually like to meet one day. Gordon Ramsay, I used to think was a butthole. The
I
man
love
knows
Gordon
his stuff.
Ramsay. Yeah.
I love it. You know what I mean? He knows his stuff. I mean, when you just have somebody that's passionate and that professional, you know, you just got to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, from watching Kitchen Nightmares, I don't look at restaurants the same. You
I don't
know,
either. I
uh,
don't either.
when it comes to cooking, I don't eat the same. If I'm gonna eat, why eat some BS when I can eat something excellent and get the same calories?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
You
goes
know,
to several other avenues too. Yeah, you can even think about calorie wise, right? That's a
yeah,
different.
yeah,
That's a different video. But if I'm gonna expend, I mean, if I'm gonna take in this amount of calories, I want it to be good. I
yeah.
mean, I want it
Why
to be good.
some garbage junk food when I can have a
Yeah,
lobster tail if I wanted to?
that's
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I gained from this show and all shows like that, when you have a very large menu of multiple options, I'm not just using the same ingredients to make different meals. But I'm talking about you just have a wide range of a variety of foods. There's no
yeah.
way that stuff is fresh.
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. That's why I don't order certain things from restaurants that don't come fresh. What is that restaurant specialty? You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going to Chinese, I'm not gonna eat American food. I'm not gonna eat
That's
some regular
right.
French
Yeah.
fries. If I'm gonna go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm not eating, you know,
No.
something else that comes elsewhere. I went to a Mexican restaurant the other day to get a little something for lunch, and they had spinach dip, spinach artichoke dip. Now, I heard someone ask, they said, how's the spinach artichoke dip? The guy who worked there, which, it's a Mexican restaurant, give it, whether it means something or not. The hostess or the waiter was Mexican. He said, I don't know. To me, that was code. Why the F are you gonna doggone eat some spinach artichoke dip when you go to a Mexican restaurant or whatever? Get your guacamole or your queso. Don't get something that's gonna come out of a frozen package. They're not making that fresh. Spinach artichoke dip, whenever you go any place, is not fresh. It's coming out of a package, and they're about to put it somewhere. Too many of these places, it comes out of a bag. You know, and so if it comes out of a bag or anything like that, it's full of preservatives, salty, X, Y, and Z. It's really not good for you.
The
Try to
only
stay fresh.
place, the only place that I will get that from is Red Lobster. Like their lobster and artichoke dip. I will say it may come out of a bag, like you're saying, but I will go and get it if I'm eating there. It's
Well,
okay. It's okay.
Well, here's the deal for me, just on more stuff like that. Even I mean, Gordon Ramsay taught me this too. But number one, when I go to a place and I order some meat and it comes in a sauce, anything that has a sauce on it,
Uh,
personally, I don't want it because you don't know what the f that is. It's like taking some fried pork chops from
oh
Thursday's
yeah.
dinner and selling on Sunday as smothered pork chops. That's just your
Hmm.
old batch that you just now get to cover up with gravy and heat it up. You know what I mean, and sell it again. You
Yeah.
know, I don't like stuff with sauces. And I see things like, oh, this new smothered chicken or glazed. This is like, what the f? If it doesn't taste good without a sauce or ranch and all this stuff, like why do I need? I hate breaded foods, for the most part. I'm just starting to get away from that stuff because you just bread it. It just comes frozen. Half of these things on that large menu, as Justin was talking about, is garbage.
Well,
Get what.
I'm not. I'm not. Gonna, there's some stuff I will go and note every now and then because I'm not getting it all the time. I will eat breaded stuff every now and then. Will eat smothered stuff. But James, just to piggyback on what you said earlier a little bit, is that yeah, I am starting to learn that I don't need steak sauce with my steak. Now, I still love steak sauce. I still love steak sauce. I still eat French fries with ketchup and Drake hate when I said it's mayonnaise. um, but I still
It says
I
this meeting no
I
longer has a time limit.
I know, yeah. But I like my I am starting to enjoy steaks without sauce, or at least with a lot less. If I don't have to dump the
What?
whole bottle, I start noticing when I have to dump the whole bottle just to be able to enjoy it, that means it's not cooked right, it's too tough, or it's just not flavored well. And now I might just eat something with a little bit of butter. I think that's how I normally eat my steaks now because I can't get steak sausage. I eat a little bit of garlic butter and that's it. So but I'm learning not to just dump stuff in sauce and just eat it that way. Because what is it telling me if I have to dump sauce on it? That's
I was told last year that everybody in Arkansas eat ranch on everything. That might be true. Um, I remember growing up, ranch used to be it, but at this point, I really can't stand ranch. I don't like ranch. I try my best to avoid ranch at all costs when I'm eating. Steak sauce used to be something that I like, and I still like that tang. I like tangy foods. I love tangy and sour candy, things like that. So steak sauce, that tangy, you know, I love it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if that steak, in order for me to call it a great steak, I need to be able to take a bite out of it with nothing. Okay, you know, like I said, salt and pepper, to do it. When that steak needs sauce, we got a problem. We got a problem. A beef has beef tallow, beef fat is tasty on its own.
yeah.
It's just tasty on its own. That's where, some people like, oh, I don't like the fat on my steak or I don't like this. Man, you gotta respect the fat. That's where when you're looking at your cut of meat, I like to handpick my steak. I don't like for somebody to say, because a lot of people just don't know. They just bring a couple of steaks and hand it to you and say, grill it. And it's like, oh, man, you didn't find the marbleization. You know, get because it's gonna grill right. And now it's up to you to grill it. So Justin, going back to you talking about chicken with the grill marks and stuff and Gordon Ramsay. One of the things they do is they'll sear something to get the grill marks or to get it or pan sear, and then they'll put it in the oven to finish it off at a controllable temperature because you want repeatable results. And that's really where you are on the grill. I use thermometers too, but you're trying to get that controlled temperature. And that's where you have to respect various barbecuing of meats. If you're
So
going to smoke it, if you're doing low and slow, it's going to depend on what you're doing. You're talking about brisket or anything else like that. You're going to have to take some time. You can't speed this up. Speeding it up by adding more heat to it, you know, you're going to dry it out. Now,
yeah,
it
yeah.
got me thinking about somehow speeding it up with some type of water inside, a cup of water or something like that, to try to create steam and keep moisture in and things like that. People come up with various techniques to try to keep that moisture inside the meat. But then, fat burns. So you're also losing fat. So it's you have to respect those temperature. Fit chicken, you're not worried about fat. It's not a fat thing that you're trying to do with chicken. You're trying to cook it through without burning it up or without leaving it raw.
Yeah, yeah.
Pork, you're trying to doggone get it to a safe temperature to eat as well. I mean, those are scary meats. Beef, deer, venison, elk, all that type of stuff. It's not scary because you can eat it rare. Sometimes you actually want it a little bit rare. So
I'm not rare yet. I'm not a rare person yet, but I have adjusted to medium well. I have adjusted to medium well.
I can take it medium. I mean, it's a rich pink. I'll still eat that thing if it's you just got to get it to the temperature. I'm confident in temperature and things like that.
Yeah, I'm confident too. I'm confident in temperature. When someone says it hit the right temperature, I'm okay with it. But I'll talk about this with Drake before. I think the real reason why I completely left well done, because I can enjoy a good well done steak, is that for so many people, well done means burnt, and I don't want my food burnt up. I don't want it too bloody, but I don't want it burnt up. So if I say medium well, a lot of times if it's a little bit still pink inside, that's okay. Or if it's a little bit more on the well done side, that's also okay. I'm guessing really giving people more space to make mistakes.
You're right about that. You're right about that because people trash well done, but well done just means no pink. And you can cook a steak well done and it'll still be just as juicy and delicious. I like a good well done steak. You're absolutely right about that. I don't want it burned up and dry. And if I say medium well, I actually, just want a little pink. I can tell the pink, a rich pink. I don't want it cold. You know what I mean? Just hit the temperature. You got to heat the steak. There aren't too many things I like to eat, hot. But I like my steak hot. I give it a moment to rest, and I'm going at it.
That's something else that we could talk about, the resting method in cooking. Can you explain it a little bit more?
Well, the thing is that cooking, there's a science behind it. There's a science behind it. So you want to rest because all those juices that you have, you want to go ahead and seal back up and stay in there. Because it's like when you cook a steak, you're cooking the moisture out and everything else, and you'll start to see, of course, it's going to pool at the bottom and burn off the fat and everything, hit the flame. But you can see on top of it, it has the liquid to be on top of it as well. So you want to give it a chance to rest so everything can stabilize. If you just go right at it, it's going to run away from you. And if you wait too late, then you kind of miss the opportunity. You're going to let your fats start to congeal and things like that. So, I like to, like I said, a 5-minute rest, and it's time to serve it up.
Yeah, I'm getting better with the resting time as far as letting my meat rest a little bit. Giving it 5 minutes, wrap it up in aluminum foil, give it time to kind of steam up the box a little bit. But at the same time, though, I think sometimes grilled meat, it's so hard to reheat grilled meat. There's certain foods that I just think you cannot reheat.
You can't.
Fish is one of those foods that I think you cannot reheat.
I don't reheat fish. I'll just eat it.
Yeah,
as is.
And I think sometimes I can notice when I grill my food, like if I can reheat it or not. Like chicken, for instance. Chicken can be reheated, but you can only reheat it so many times. I would say just one. I'm not gonna say reheat it multiple times, but I think I'm very cautious when I reheat my food, especially steaks or anything else. I'm very cautious of when do I reheat it, how do I reheat it, whether the microwave or the oven or what, because it's like sometimes it somehow just loses flavor. I think that's the difference between the gas grill and charcoal grill is that the gas grill, you can just turn it off. And if somebody wants some more food, you can turn it back on, you can start grilling some more. The process of when I'm using charcoal grill and we have some guests over is that I'm trying to get better at timing it out. So I put on the first layer of food where I expect people to eat, and then I put the next layer of food. And I have two grills now. I have a Weber grill and I have a cheaper grill that I bought. And I try to smoke different things when I can. But if I'm smoking food, it's not like I can turn it back on and cook another 8 hours.
No.
I gotta have enough prepared then. And sometimes the people I have here, they want to eat stuff at a certain time. They want to have a certain order. It's not like they want ribs and then they want sausage at the same time. Some people like, well, I want soup first. I want this first. So now it's come to the timing issue. And it's like, okay, well, with a charcoal grill, I'm not like, okay, I need to time it out just right. Can I keep my temperature up at this temperature? Okay, I'm put the sausages on first. I'm put the chicken on next. I'm put this. And then when I'm finished, I'm finished. But then when someone say, well, I need some more, the process of getting it back going is going to take too long. So I go ahead and try to cook everything in that time that I've allotted for. And I just hope that I try to put it in the oven, someplace where it can just kind of stay warm, keep the temperature. And then when people are ready for the rest, I pull it out. Because once it cools down, man, it's just, some stuff is not good after it cools down. You let it sit too
It's
long.
not. Well, see, the thing is, the oven is scary because the oven is a good dry heat, and it will dry your food out if you leave it just trying to keep it warm. And I've played around with that before, and it's pissed me off. I don't like to waste steaks. There are other foods, like you said, you can cook it and heat it up later. But steaks is just, I tell you, I just love steaks too much to see one go to waste. You don't cook a steak, all these steaks in advance, and then put them on the side and somebody come through and get them or you warm them up. You just killed it because they were perfect when they came off. Give it time to rest. And that's why, at restaurants and everything's like that, steaks are what you cook fresh. You cook to order because they don't take long to get it at what temperature that you want to get to. And you go from there. So when I'm doing something like that, now if I'm doing a prime rib, it just is what it is. You start that thing early. There has been a trick or two I've done where, if you just want that smoke flavor, start it on the grill. Get as much smoke as you want that thing on it, and then finish it inside in the oven. And for the most part, people won't be able to tell that it didn't come from, wasn't cooked all the way on the grill.
Yeah, I've tried that a little bit. I have one video on YouTube now where I tried to make some pulled pork. I left on the grill for a couple hours, and then I finished it off in a slow cooker because I wanted to give it some natural smoke flavor. Now, the only issue that I saw with doing it that way was after putting it in a slow cooker was that it lost some of the, I don't know if you ever heard like burnt ends, the crispiness of the outside layer. It lost that. It was very juicy. It was very flavorful.
Yeah.
And it still had the smoke flavor, but it lost that crispiness outside, that crunch a little bit to it.
Yeah.
And
it's
I was
going to
disappointed about that. But at the same time, I was trying to work the best of two methods.
Well, one way you can always do it, you're gonna slow cook it to end it out. Instead of leaving a big old piece, cut those pieces to make it smaller. So now you have a smaller cooking area. You have a smaller, less dense piece of meat. They're all gonna get that smoke to it, but it doesn't have to try to reach the core temperature between, 3 inches or whatever. It just has to hit 1 inch.
Yeah, that's the next thing. I started off with the pulled pork. Today I have cut it down to I think either a pound piece instead of one big 3 pound, 4 pound piece. I'm cut it down to a pound piece. I'm just buying smaller pieces of meat because I don't want to waste three pounds or 3 kilos. I want to just I wanted to
Hello?
Yeah.
One of the things I like to explore different things on the grill now. Our uncle introduced me to grilling fish. Now, a lot of people grill salmon and they think that's great. I'm not a salmon eater. I don't like salmon much at all. Some of the freshwater fish that I've caught, I've put those on the grill. Brim, delicious. Catfish, delicious. Off a smoky charcoal grill. or I've done them on my pellet grill, things like that. On the gas grill, I actually don't like to cook fish, grill fish on a gas grill because I want the smoky, I want that woody flavor. I don't just want to cook it. I actually like that woody flavor. That smoke puts some type of I don't know if you want to just call it the carcinogens or whatever, but it kind of coats it, and it's just delicious. Like that. That is a flavor in itself. Fellas, are we still connected?
Yeah, we're still connected. I'm
Drake?
wondering if Drake has technical difficulties.
Drake fell asleep.
No, he Drake said he's gone for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I think there's a lot of good information. It's probably a good time to end this anyway, man. I appreciate you joining us. Appreciate Drake, even though he had to leave earlier. Man, I think it was a lot of interesting topics. Man, we talked all about cooking. I thought we were gonna get to other subjects, but we talked about cooking this whole time, grilling and everything. Man, are you grilling anything in the future, or you got something coming up?
Well, next week is Independence Day, Mom's birthday. Shoot, Mom, she took some ribeyes out the other day. We've been eating ribeyes for breakfast. I tell you, I can have a steak any time of day, so I have ribeye and eggs. Ribeye in the evening. And I cook steak a lot. Lobster tails, steak. My Weber queue that travels, will travel and cook for people. So let's see. That's it. I would like to. I still have a taste for some grilled chicken, so I guess I'll try to see if I can get the charcoal grill going where I am and see if I can get some chicken. But Justin, I grill at least once a week. At least once a week. So
I'm
yes.
I grill once a week too, but you know what the thing is that man, I tell you what, it's harder for me to realize the amount of time it takes to get ready to record. Sometimes I just want to cook. and try to get the camera set up and then the editing process. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with that. And I just started grilling. And I grill every week too, though. I know I haven't done many grill videos, but I grill every week. I've been trying to really develop my skills. I'm telling you, the best thing to know that I'm doing something right is when Justice or Sylvia is like, I want some more of this. I want some more of this. It's funny because Sylvia actually requested ribs. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to cook ribs today, but she requested me to cook some more. And I was like, okay, I got you. And that's always a positive sign when someone else is requesting that you cook something. And I love that. So I got some ribs. I'm actually gonna try my own barbecue sauce today because, like I said, I think my ribs are on point now. So I have some barbecue sauce that I want to try to make myself. Because here's the thing, man, when it comes to the sauces, like I'm still trying to find that sauce that reminds me back of America. Right now, I can't find that sauce. And so I know I got to make my own then. And so I'm experimenting.
What sauce are we talking about?
Man, you probably don't remember this place, but there's a few sauces that I remember. But they really come down to the restaurants or to the barbecue stands. I think there's about 3 or 4 barbecue stands that I love their sauce. And either they made it themselves or they bought it and then just
that's where you're gonna have to start. Well, that's where I wanted to get to because, if you think about a lot of these sauces, they're either tomato based, Worcester, things like that, horseradish. You just have to go through and create yourself. Start with a base, taste it, hit it, add something to it. You got your horseradish, you got your salt, you got your pepper, you got your spice. A lot of them are very basic.
They are.
Basic,
and it just fits the meat. But the thing is, there's the guy in Warren, he had a really good sauce, man. And he quit coming, but I love this sauce. I would put his sauce on my potato salad. I would put his sauce on my beans and my coleslaw, and I would dip bread in it.
Oh, I know. There's a place in Oakland, a couple of places, Everett and Jones Barbecue. Man, I get there. Man, their smoked beef links and their sauce. I don't even have to have the beef links. I like the beef links because they smoke to perfection. But Justin, I tell them every time, I need extra bread. No extra bread because I'm gonna sop that stuff up. I'm gonna sop it up. I want that bread soggy, and I'm gonna just eat that sauce. It's just that delicious. It reminds me, Creighton. Justin. Everybody, Creighton told me he was eating a barbecue sandwich. Hey, where is he getting barbecue from? A barbecue sauce sandwich. I mean, that was funny to me growing up. I'm like, you're just gonna take a condiment and make a sandwich out of it? Uncle Hunter talking about a mustard sandwich. Who would do a mustard sandwich? A sugar sandwich, ketchup sandwich. No, but then we spread jelly and make a jelly sandwich or peanut butter. But Justin, that when you have good barbecue sauce, you will sop it up.
You will.
Yeah.
Man, and that's what I'm trying to get to, man. Every time I buy barbecue sauce here, and even the ones that say they come from America, it's not the same. I tell people this, and this is the truth. I said, if you go to every little stand in America, everybody tries to do it their way. You can't. I don't care. You can go to 10 burger joints, and each burger joint is going to try to make their burger unique. You can go to 10 catfish places. The catfish has a standard taste, but it's still gonna be a little bit different. Maybe they use flour, maybe they use a little bit more cornmeal, maybe a little bit saltier.
Right.
It's gonna be a little bit different. I say here in Germany, for the most part, when you go to a lot of these German restaurants, they don't change up the recipes too much. Their schnitzel is gonna be their schnitzel. Their bratwurst or sausage is gonna be the sausages. It's a pretty standard, and I say it's different in America when you come to everybody want to do their own thing. They want to make themselves stand out. Where here is different. Now the beer might be different in each restaurant. I mean, a lot of these places, if you go to a brewery, they make their own beer. And so their beer is what really stands out. I don't drink beer though. I don't drink alcohol. So what's unique about them when you match it with the food, I don't partake in it. And so maybe that's on me that I'm missing out on it. But to me, a lot of times the food is basically the same.
Yeah.
And so so anytime I go to a place, I'm like, I want a certain sauce, man. I've tried all these different sauces, but it's like, man, none of them are close to what I remind them back home. So I know I got to come with my own, or I just got to sell them. There's one that's pretty good.
Come on your own.
I'm trying to come on my own. There's one that's pretty good. I like this one. It's a store brand from Ithaca. I like that one. It's closer to what I like. But you don't also realize too, though, is that it's also how things match up. One sauce matches up with another sauce better than the other one.
Right.
And so I'm also looking at it from that standpoint too.
Well, you get your tomato base, your brown sugar, your vinegar, like I said, horseradish, Worcestershire soy sauce, whatever the case is. You got your bases right there to create your own. But I just challenge you to go ahead, make your own sauce, because that's what, similar to you, the reason why you're cooking more is that I got tired. I like steak so much. I go out, you go out to have dinner and you're spending X amount of dollars for this, whereas you can go and find your own steak for $10, cook it within 5 minutes or what have you, and have that same meal for a lot less just by cooking at home and getting it the way you want it. So that's where I start, cooking is always just better, and the more you cook, the better you get. But I'm going to end it on that, Justin. I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep. Let you all have a great day. It was wonderful speaking with you all. Thanks for the invite on your podcast.
Does he hear you? Okay, let me see what. Give me 5 minutes. I'll let you talk to Jaime in a second. Sorry about that.
I just tell you my goodbyes.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for this. Hey, we have to do this again, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you later, man. I love you.
All right, love you too. You gotta take care.
This is from Just in Time Grilling. Thanks everybody for participating. We hope to hear from you soon. All right, bye.